Take the burger game to the next level, like the Freshman 15, stacked with panko fried mozzarella. Unleash your appetite.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
Well, welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 5. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and what a fantastic day it's been. Blue skies galore, exactly what we need as we get into the midweek portion of our work week. Hey, you guys are halfway there, Wednesday wrapping up, and we are headed into that final stretch. But what can we expect in the weather world? Well, that's where we come into play. So getting a look at our headlines here in the Room to Room Weather Center, you may notice that it is going to be a dry next couple of days. That is our first headline for the here and now. So gradually warming up as well as we head over those next couple of days. That next pattern moving in play, our next weather pattern, and that of course going to allow those temperatures to climb just a bit. But rain does return this weekend, so that warming trend actually is a big thing in that warming trend is actually the moisture that we'll be experiencing here in North Mississippi. So we'll track those rain chances, when to expect it, and even for those football games this weekend, could we see a few drops? Depends on who you are. But as we wrap it up, well, of course, I spoke too soon. Will football see rain? That is the headline that we're all asking heading into that forecast. So if you want your high school and college forecast, well, here is the place to be. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather. Let's go ahead and look at the first 12. And as you may notice, no rain chances in sight. So that rain is primarily going to be towards this weekend, our evening, heading into our Thursday, staying on the calmer side. 69 degrees there by 6. By midnight, 50 degrees. Towards tomorrow morning, another crisp start to our day. 45 degrees getting out the door, and so long sleeves going to be necessary once again, but I mean, that's expected this time of year. Guys, we're in the thick of fall, so we need to be getting some of those cooler temperatures. Winona, 75 degrees right now. We do see some burning happening there in the distance. Burn bans here in Lee County have since been lifted, but we do still have that one in place in Attala County. And being that, well, I hope this is not looking directly south. Doesn't look like it is. That means we're not looking at Attala County there from Montgomery County where Winona is. So don't burn in Attala. That's what we're going to emphasize. The one county here in Mississippi that's currently under that burn ban, still in place as of October 22nd. 73 degrees in Columbus, and you can see Highway 82 flowing very well. Folks heading home from work and wrapping up their midweek portion of the week, and honestly, a great day for it. So hopefully getting out and about this evening for any of those evening plans. Mississippi Live Weather Radar, dry as can be once again. Honestly, I'm debating on even putting these in the shows anymore because we've not tracked a drop of rainfall since the front moved through this weekend. So beyond that, high pressure has been dominating our region and will continue to do so heading into that extended forecast. Not only is it keeping us dry, it's also keeping us clear, not just here in North Mississippi, but we can honestly circulate this all across our surrounding areas and no cloud is able to be seen. So all in summary, we're dry, we are calm, we are clear, and high pressure, boom, right there in front of your face. Moving into North Mississippi as we speak, keeping those winds relatively calm. So let's go ahead and expand it out and take a look at the surface analysis in more detail. Of course, when the center of that high is over the top of us, those winds not going to be nearly as aggressive. Still some breezes up to 5 miles an hour, but that's really the extent. I mean, look at the difference between the surrounding areas where we're getting 10 to 15 miles an hour on those winds, whereas Mississippi, it's kind of hard to even see any wind gusts at all. But what we're also getting, and I almost want to zoom into where we're able to see this in a little bit more detail. So let me try and pinpoint exactly where this is happening. So we have the winds over there on the west side of the high. This is, of course, wrapping around in that clockwise motion. So it's bringing up that southerly wind to folks there in southern Arkansas and Louisiana. So that pattern has already shifted for them compared to how dry things were here the past couple of days. So that high going to be the big driver in this forecast because those northerly winds that are on the east side of the high pressure system, those being pushed out, those being pushed towards the Atlantic coast, and these southerly winds moving into the forecast, bringing back some of that warmer, moister air, setting the scene for that active Saturday like we've been mentioning. So let's expand it back out, and I'll clear off my artistic ability here real quick. And also, I want to emphasize, you see my fingers are blue. We had Arts and Crafts Day over at one of my school visits, and so we'll have video from that coming up tonight at 10, so stay tuned. But folks in Marietta, they know how to detect wind. to say the least. So let's get back into Futurecast, and you can see that high gradually moving east and taking away those northerly winds that we so love here in North Mississippi, and those winds starting to shift, bringing in that moisture and bringing in that warmer air. So this is 3 a.m. on your Thursday on into those early morning commuting hours. By Thursday morning, still getting a good bit of those partly cloudy conditions and those southerly winds already increasing those temperatures. So yes, a cool start to the day, but take a look by the afternoon. We're talking 78 degrees today. Didn't get out of the low 70s for some spots. So that is going to be a noticeable change into the forecast for our Thursday. But as we get further into the forecast, there's even those morning lows warming up as well. So tomorrow morning, actually the coolest it'll be over the next 7 days as that rainfall pushes in and brings back some of that above average weather. Coming up in the next 60, we're going to be talking more in detail about those temperatures, also discussing those limited rain chances for the next couple of days, but honestly, the increase in rain chances by this weekend. A lot to discuss here in the Room to Room Weather Center, so make sure to stay with us for Mississippi Live Weather at 5, coming up in the next 60.
This roof's getting installed with our premium roofing system. Backed by our 50-year warranty. And there's a 0% financing, no payment for 6 months options that this customer utilized. If you're looking for a new roof and you need an affordable option, call Absolute Restoration.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
You wonder how they're going to experience the real world in real safety, where all kids are welcome and everyone has a path forward to new skills, advancement, leadership, something they will carry with them the rest of their lives.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, once again, a beautiful afternoon across North Mississippi. This a look in Pontotoc with those blue skies, 73 degrees, and you are seeing that dew point correctly. 34 degrees. Is that dry enough for you? Well, I don't think we get much drier than that. Not only in Pontotoc, but also Attala County, where that burn ban is currently in effect. We see 72 degrees, 37 degree dew points, and still with those blue skies on the horizon. Just a beautiful forecast. That's why I love wearing blue and yellow on days like today, because it kind of describes the sky that we're getting. Those blue skies and the yellow for the sun matches up perfectly, right? Well, it's just a good forecast no matter where you're at. I could have chosen any of these cameras in North Mississippi and it really would have told the story. But like we've been hinting at, rain chances do increase in the future as we're watching multiple systems push in from the west to east. And by this weekend, looking at a pretty soggy forecast, to say the least. So let's go ahead and get into the here and now before we get all the way into the future. Mississippi Live Weather Radar showcasing dry and clear conditions across North Mississippi. So any of those Wednesday evening plans as optimal as they can be. And really, if we look at along the entire south, mid-south, southeast, just all together, dry as can be. Just tracking this out. I love doing this because, well, we can. Tracking the distance between the two. Oh, I don't know if I can. I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to find a way to do it. So let me get back here and expand things out. And I'm curious how much of a distance we're talking about that we're being dominated by those dry conditions. So Albuquerque, all the way to the East Coast, 1,600 miles of dry air. That's what I'm saying. We're not alone in this forecast as a lot of folks are dealing with these drier conditions. So anything that we need to get done outside, this is the best time for it. Mow those lawns for maybe the final time this year. I know some of us hoping for another couple of times, but I think we're wrapping that up as those yards are starting to go a little bit more dormant and dying out as we enter into more of that fall and winter-like weather. So go ahead and get that done. Today's the day for it, and even tomorrow, still getting another opportunity. But over the past 12 hours, those rainfall totals primarily in the Gulf, all the way up there into Toledo and Buffalo, but not here in North Mississippi, not here in the southeast. We're still enjoying a very dry forecast dominated by that high pressure. But when we get into those midweek activities, I know a lot of folks have those this evening. 69 degrees there by 6 p.m. with plenty of sunshine. Wrapping up those services, going to be a little bit cooler, 58 degrees. So maybe have those long sleeves on standby as you get out the door, because we definitely don't want you guys to be a little bit chilly as we wrap up those church services. 53 by 10 if you're letting out a little bit later. So the later you get, the cooler it'll be. So if you're ready to get on out of there, well, tell the pastor you're getting a little bit cold, and maybe that'll convince them. I don't know. No, hey, everything's good. Every minute matters whenever it's with Jesus. Futurecast on your Wednesday evening, still with those dry and clear conditions. Winds pretty calm, maybe 1-2 miles an hour, but that's the extent of our winds here in North Mississippi as high pressure remains right over the top of us. As we push more into that extended forecast, talking 9-10 p.m., maybe seeing a little bit of cloud cover out there towards Greenville and Cleveland, but that's a result of that moisture moving back into the forecast, and the rest of us will see it as we get further into our Thursday morning. So taking a look right there by 5-6 a.m., those partly cloudy conditions along and south of Highway 82. The rest of us, not fully there yet, so maybe enjoying one last clear sky before we get into really that cloudy and rainy forecast. Low temperatures for your Thursday, a little bit warmer than where we sat at this morning. 45 in Tupelo, 45 in Bruce, and 47 towards Senatobia. We are getting 50s in Cleveland and Greenville, so that gradual warming trend affecting both our high and low temperatures. Makes it a little bit more comfortable at the bus stop, but by the afternoon, those warm conditions do push back in place. 78 degrees by that final bell with plenty of sunshine all day long. If you're not getting out to enjoy the forecast, well, you'll be bumming here in a couple of days whenever it's just that rainy forecast, and we'll be like, man, wish it was dry today. I'd love to go outside. Well, don't say I didn't tell you. So getting back here in the Room to Room Weather Center is tracking that Futurecast out. I'm zooming it out because there's not any showers to really note in our forecast, but we really need to look at the progression of this high, because as it pushes out towards the east, we do get this southerly wind back into our area, which pushes in that moisture and of course a little bit of that heat. So that's why temperatures gradually warming over the next few days. So 9 a.m. partly cloudy conditions, remains that way into our lunch hour as well. So any of those lunch plans still will be good to go. Don't be expecting any rainfall, and it'll be honestly be a good forecast to get outside for those lunch plans as a side note to that. Towards the afternoon, as our students wrap up the day, they'll be enjoying a great forecast as well. Mostly sunny conditions by this point, so if you do have any of those afternoon activities that require you to be outside, band practice. I know we have a band competition coming up this weekend. It'll be a good forecast for it. So band directors, you are good to go. Put those kids to work and bring us back a title, right? So getting into our Thursday evening, still with those mostly clear conditions. So any of those evening plans going to be good to go, even with those partly cloudy skies. But there you see it out there in Oklahoma City. Rain chances already pushing back into the forecast by our Thursday evening, and that's that next system we're watching getting into our Friday and then our Saturday that could be impacting our area in our weekend forecast. 76 Oxford, 80 there towards Greenwood, and 78 around Louisville. It is going to be noticeably warmer than where it currently has been, but that's again that warming trend that we've been talking about affecting both high and low temperatures. We keep Futurecast going into your Thursday evening, and as you can see, still a calm night across North Mississippi. Not expecting anything in regards to rainfall, but cloud cover and then some showers trying to work their way back into the forecast. Now, I want to point out, we always talk about this, our strike model, very aggressive. So you're going to see showers form right here that are not exactly verifying on other model runs. So we do have a dry forecast for our Friday, and if any of this were to produce, we're talking about a couple of sprinkles max. So not exactly going to be significant rainfall, so any of those plans you have for Friday will be good to go. So I hate that it's showing this, but I like that it's showing at least cloud cover moving into the area, as we do have partly to maybe even mostly cloudy conditions for our Friday, especially afternoon and evening. Now looking at that Friday football forecast, it is going to remain on the drier side. Don't believe these greens that are happening. We've looked at the forecast. It is still a very dry atmosphere, so no need to worry about that. But what this blanketed cloud cover will do is not allow any heating to get into the surface. So our temperatures going to not heat up too much more than that. Remain about where we sit for our Thursday as well. So Friday currently coming in 75 Tupelo, 70 Boonville, 79 Columbus, and 79 down around Kosciuszko. As we look at that high school game of the week forecast, we will be down in Vardaman to see Calhoun City take on the Rams. Going to be a good one down there. I know a lot of folks are already talking smack in the comments, so should be a good game. I'm excited for it. And I know one team has a better record than the other, but still should be a good game. Miracles do happen. Just got to play your heart out under those Friday night lights. And like I said, miracles happen. 70 around pregame, 63 by halftime, and 60 by that final snap. Mostly cloudy conditions for those football games, setting the scene for that soggy forecast on our Saturday. But looking at that Saturday forecast, I'm stepping in the wrong spot. Look at where the rain is happening. And I've been saying soggy forecast on Saturday with one team in mind. the Ole Miss Rebels, traveling into the storm, both in Norman, Oklahoma, but also into the literal storm as that system begins working its way through Oklahoma and Texas. You can see 50 to 60% chances of rainfall, so make sure to have that rain gear ready if you're traveling out there towards Norman. Still should be a great game, and the rain almost acting as an equalizer for both teams, so it's going to be a good game, and excited to see who comes out on top in that. Ole Miss looking to bounce back, but we'll have a latest edition of Cole Meyers Corner Friday night talking about this game in more detail. And our Carl Hogan Toyota forecast for our Alabama Crimson Tide taking on the South Carolina Gamecocks. 72 by the first play, 71 by halftime, and 63 by that final snap. You might notice no rainfall in the forecast. That's because we're heading out towards the east, away from the systems, and fortunately for folks that are rooting for the Crimson Tide, going to be a good forecast for you out there in South Carolina. But back here at home, Starkville, Mississippi, Texas coming to town to take on the Bulldogs. 75 first play, 72 by halftime, and final snap. Remains to be seen how quickly that system moves in play to where we could be getting a few showers. 3:15 kickoff, so the later that game goes, the more potential we'll see a few of those showers try to move into the forecast. But I did see some folks in chat. Let me go ahead and get back on here. Oh wait, can you scroll? Let me see. Awesome forecast. I want to go pull up this comment. So they said, it was Kimberly on Facebook, said, I bet that rain is really going to cool down to the real fall weather. Well, funny note about that forecast is it's actually going to keep our temperatures a little bit above average. But the rain, you're right, is changing the forecast beyond that point. And this is one of the things we'll be discussing tonight at 6, is that extended outlook and what we'll see both temperature-wise and precipitation-wise, not just over the next 7 days, but we're talking next 14, next 30, and even the next 90 days, a general idea of what we'll be experiencing here in the Magnolia State. So yes, rainfall back in the forecast keeps our temperatures pretty uniform in the low to mid 50s for lows, highs in the low to mid 70s. But once we clear out this front that's going to push through Tuesday evening, really dropping those temps, and by next Friday, some chilly conditions back in the forecast. We'll have the latest look at that here from the Room to Room Weather Center, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And of course, we're walking through the rain totals and how much we're going to expect, how impactful those rain chances are coming up tonight at 6. So a lot to discuss, but that back there in chat, I see a lot of folks talking about it. Ready for the rain, ready for, oh, hang on. We got some folks cheering on. Patty always talks smack. That's fun. Yeah, I'm serious. This Friday night is going to be a good one with both teams kind of going at each other already, and it's just Wednesday. Let me see. Go Roll Tide. Jade. See, I'm from Alabama, but once I went to Mississippi State, I just became a Bulldog and honorary Rebel fan because my beautiful bride is a Rebel, and so we cheer on both Mississippi teams in the Maynard household, and when it comes time for Egg Bowl, then we just kind of stay on the couch and cheer for our respective team, but no bad blood for each other. We're both happy that Mississippi comes out on top, and that's that at the end of the day. So, yeah, but it's fun. It's fun Egg Bowl, come Egg Bowl time. So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up for tonight at 5 o'clock. We're going to be back on tonight at 6, and you can, of course, tune in on the Mississippi Live Weather app, where we are readily available 24/7 on our stream. But also, if you want to find out the forecast for yourself, we have those hourly and daily forecasts. Gives you everything you need to know before you head out the door for the day ahead. And speaking of, we'll give you everything you need to know for the day ahead. Coming up tonight at 6 and 10, rain chances coming up in the extended forecast, just what to expect with those, and that extended outlook, talking latest details tonight at 6 o'clock.
Community is the way we find our strength and share our hope. It's the way dinner on the table brings a family closer together. It's the way we make sure his first chapter book is the first step on his path to greatness. It's the way we rally in hard times and rise back up stronger than ever. United is the way we come together so everyone can thrive. Join us at unitedway.org.